February at Lowe's is hiding secrets that most shoppers walk right past. While everyone's fighting over drills and paint during spring sales, the real pros are grabbing deals that make Black Friday look overpriced. Here's what nobody tells you about shopping Lowe's in the dead of winter. The big box stores don't want you knowing this, but February is when last year's premium inventory gets marked down to make room for spring stock. We're talking tools that were untouchable in November, suddenly sitting at prices that make you wonder if someone forgot a decimal point. Take the Cobalt 24-volt brushless drill and impact driver combo kit. Normally rings up at $219. February clearance price? $149. That's $70 you just saved for doing absolutely nothing except showing up when the weather's lousy. But here's where it gets interesting. That same combo with DeWalt branding costs $299 even on sale. You're getting the exact same brushless motor technology, same battery platform, same torque ratings. The only difference is the color and about $150. Professional framers have been quietly switching to Cobalt for years. Why? Because losing a $200 drill on a job site hurts. Losing a $150 drill that performs identically, that's just the cost of doing business. The brushless motors in these Cobalt tools are manufactured in the same factories that make motors for premium brands. It's like buying generic ibuprofen versus Advil. Same active ingredient, different price tag designed to separate you from your money. Speaking of separating you from your money, let's talk about winter clearance on outdoor power equipment. Most people think buying a lawnmower in February is crazy. Those people are paying full price come April. Lowe's marks down last season's mowers starting mid-January, and by February, you're looking at discounts that'll make your neighbors jealous. The Craftsman M275 self-propelled mower usually sells for $349 during spring rush. February, pricing drops it to $279. That's an extra $70 in your pocket for buying when snow's on the ground instead of grass. Here's the professional secret. Lawn equipment doesn't care what month you buy it. The engine doesn't perform better because you paid spring prices. But your wallet definitely performs better when you shop off-season. Smart contractors stock up on mowers, trimmers, and blowers during winter clearance, then flip them in April for profit or keep them as backups. Either way, they're not the ones paying retail like amateurs. But the real game changer hiding at Lowe's this February involves something most DIYers completely overlook. The Cobalt air compressor lineup got a massive update in late 2025, which means older models are getting cleared out at prices that don't make sense. The 26-gallon vertical air compressor that powered professional frame crews all last year now costs $199 instead of $279. That's $80 off for waiting a few months while everyone else rushed to buy at peak prices. This compressor pumps out 4.0 cubic feet per minute at 90 psi. For context, that's enough to run framing nailers, finish nailers, and impact wrenches without breaking a sweat. The vertical design saves floor space in crowded garages, and the wheels mean you're not doing deadlifts every time you need to move it. Professional contractors report these Cobalt compressors running thousands of hours without issues. Compare that to those cheap pancake compressors that sound like angry bees and die after a summer of deck building. At $199, you're getting commercial grade performance at hobbyist prices. But speaking of hobbyist prices for professional performance, February brings another Lowe's secret weapon into play. The Project Source reciprocating saw gets zero respect because it's a house brand. But here's what the tool snobs won't tell you. This thing costs $39 and cuts through everything a $120 Milwaukee Sawzall cuts through. Same stroke length, same amp rating, same ability to demo a bathroom in record time. I've watched professional remodelers grab these Project Source saws as backup tools, then end up using them as primary saws because they work. When you're cutting through nail-embedded studs or rusty pipes, you don't need a tool that costs more than your first car. You need something that cuts fast and doesn't quit. At $39, you can abuse this saw guilt-free. Drop it off a ladder? Annoying, but you're not crying about losing your mortgage payment. The variable speed trigger gives you control for delicate cuts, while the tool-free blade change means you're not fumbling with Allen wrenches wearing winter gloves in a cold garage. Here's what really matters. This saw has enough power to cut through 4-inch PVC, 2x10s, and sheet metal without bogging down. That's all most people need from a reciprocating saw, regardless of what color it comes in. But Lowe's February magic isn't just about power tools. The paint department becomes a goldmine for anyone willing to think ahead. February clearance includes discontinued paint colors that work perfectly fine, they just didn't sell fast enough during peak season. We're talking Valspar and HGTV home premium paints marked down to $15 or $20 per gallon instead of $35. For interior projects, nobody cares if your wall color was called Sea Mist or Ocean Breeze. They care if it looks good and covers in 2 coats. These clearance paints do exactly that, while saving you hundreds on whole house projects. Professional house flippers have known this trick for decades. Buy clearance paint in winter, store it properly, use it all year on rental properties. Tenants never complain about getting perfectly good paint that happened to be last season's trendy color. The Cobalt Mechanics tool sets also hit sweet pricing in February as Lowe's makes room for spring gardening inventory. The 227-piece set drops from $179 to $129. That's $50 off a set that includes everything from 1/4-inch drive sockets to full-size ratchets. Compare this to the Husky set at Home Depot for $169 or the Craftsman at $189. Same chrome vanadium steel, same lifetime warranty, lower price because you shopped smart. Professional mechanics laugh at people who think expensive tool sets perform better. The physics of a socket wrench don't change based on brand loyalty. February at Lowe's means grabbing these deals before spring cleaning fever makes everyone forget about value and focus on convenience. The real winners stock up now, work all year with quality tools, and never pay retail again. But here's where February at Lowe's gets absolutely ridiculous with value. The lighting department clearance makes 0 sense until you understand the game. LED shop lights that were $49 in December suddenly cost $29 in February because Lowe's needs floor space for spring displays. These aren't cheap fixtures. We're talking 4-foot linkable LED units pumping out 4,000 lumens. That's enough light to perform surgery in your garage. Professional auto detailers run 6 of these units and pay full price because they need them now. Smart DIYers buy them in February at 40% off. The linked design means one power cord runs multiple units. At $29 per fixture, you can properly light a 2-car garage for under $150 total. Try that with premium brands, and you're looking at $400 plus. Speaking of savings, the February tool storage clearance makes professional mechanics weep with jealousy. Cobalt rolling tool chests that commanded $600 dropped to $449 when Lowe's clears inventory. That's $150 saved on storage that outlasts your truck. These aren't particle board disasters. We're talking heavy gauge steel with ball bearing drawer slides rated for 100 pounds each. Professional technicians use these exact cabinets because they survive decades of abuse. The powder coat finish resists rust better than your uncle resists asking about your love life at family dinners. At $449, you're getting storage that costs $900 with Snap-on branding but performs identically. The Cobalt 10-inch sliding compound miter saw now costs $179 instead of $249. Professional trim carpenters report this saw holding calibration through thousands of cuts. The dual bevel design means you're not flipping boards to make opposing angle cuts. The sliding feature handles 12-inch boards, covering 95% of residential trim work. At $179, you're paying less than renting a premium saw for a weekend. February also brings deals on pneumatic tools professionals swear by. The Porter Cable Brad nailer kit drops from $149 to $99 during winter clearance. The 16-gauge nailer drives nails from 5/8 to 2 inches, covering picture frames to baseboard installation. At $99 complete with case, you're spending less than paying a finished carpenter for 2 hours. Use this on one room and it pays for itself. The absolute best-kept secret involves extension ladders. The Werner 24-foot aluminum ladder goes from $279 to $169. Professional roofers pay full price constantly. You're paying clearance because you shop strategically. This ladder reaches second-story gutters and supports 300 pounds. The Type 1A rating means serious construction use. At $169, you own a ladder that outlasts your house. February at Lowe's isn't just saving money. It's understanding retail cycles and beating the system designed to extract maximum dollars from impatient shoppers. Tools don't perform better in spring. Quality doesn't improve because you paid full price. Smart buyers recognize value appears in winter when demand drops significantly and retailers desperately need inventory movement. That's the real powers of February shopping at Lowe's. But wait, because there's more hiding in clearance aisles that make zero sense until you understand how desperate retailers get for floor space. The cordless tool batteries everyone thinks are proprietary money traps suddenly become reasonable during February liquidation. Cobalt 24-volt 4 amp-hour batteries drop from $79 to $49. Professional landscapers buy a dozen at February prices and coast through the entire season. That's $30 per battery saved, and when running multiple crews with multiple tools, those savings add up faster than overtime pay. Here's the secret. These batteries power everything in the Cobalt ecosystem. Drills, impact drivers, circular saws, reciprocating saws, even leaf blowers and trimmers. Buy batteries in February. Swap them between tools all year. Never pay peak pricing again. The chemistry doesn't care what month you purchased. Lithium-ion performs identically whether bought during a blizzard or heat wave. But the hand tool clearance at Lowe's makes professional mechanics question their loyalty to tool trucks. Cobalt ratcheting wrench sets that cost $149 during normal times drop to $99 in February. These aren't cheap stamped steel wrenches that bend under pressure. We're talking forged chrome vanadium with 72 tooth ratcheting mechanisms that work in tight spaces where regular wrenches just spin uselessly. Professional diesel mechanics report these Cobalt ratcheting wrenches surviving years of heavy commercial use. The same work that destroys cheaper brands and costs hundreds more with Snap-on branding. At $99 for a complete metric and standard set, you're spending less than a single premium brand wrench while getting enough tools to tackle any job. The February magic extends beyond just tools into accessories most people overpay for year-round. Drill bit sets that seem expensive at $30 during spring suddenly cost $18 during winter clearance. We're talking titanium-coated bits that stay sharp through hundreds of holes, not garbage high-speed steel bits that dull after drilling through a 2x4. Professional electricians who drill through studs all day stock up on these February bit sets. The coating matters more than people realize. Titanium reduces friction, which means less heat, which means bits stay sharp longer. You're not just saving $12 per set. You're saving replacement costs throughout the year, because these bits last. Here's where February pricing gets absolutely absurd. The outdoor power equipment accessories nobody thinks about until they desperately need them get marked down when stores prep for spring inventory. Replacement trimmer line that costs $20 in May costs $12 in February. Same brand, same diameter, other price. Professional lawn care companies buy enough trimmer line during February clearance to last seasons. They're not paying premium when demand peaks, but February clearance gets interesting for anyone who understands equipment cycles. Pressure washer accessories that retail for $60 during spring drop to $35 in February. We're talking extension wands, surface cleaners, and nozzle kits that transform basic pressure washers into professional machines. Professional window washers stock up when prices make sense, not when desperately needed. The extensions alone normally cost $45. Getting them at $35 with additional nozzles included is finding money on the sidewalk. The insider knowledge about Lowe's February involves understanding which tools never go on sale, except during winter clearance. Oscillating multi-tools that professional remodelers use for precision cuts normally hold firm at $139. February drops them to $89. That's $50 saved on a tool that cuts through nails, scrapes grout, sands corners, and performs tasks that used to require separate tools. Professional tile installers report these paying for themselves on a single bathroom renovation. At $89, you're getting capability that used to cost hundreds. The 16-gallon Craftsman wet-dry vacuum that sucks up drywall dust, water, and debris normally costs $129. February drops it to $79. Professional drywall finishers buy these at February prices and run them until they die. At $79, it's cheaper than cleaning out regular vacuums not designed for construction abuse. But February deals reveal another dimension most DIYers completely overlook. The Cobalt 25-foot tape measure with magnetic tip drops from $19.99 to $12.99. That's $7 saved on a tool you'll use every single day. The magnetic tip grabs metal studs and edges firmly, meaning solo measuring without extra hands needed. Professional carpenters report these tape measures surviving decades of drops-off ladders, being run over by trucks, and general abuse that destroys cheaper versions. At $12.99, you're getting accuracy-matching tools, costing 3 times as much. The standout reaches 11 feet before collapsing, measuring ceiling heights without climbing. February pricing gets ridiculous for metalworking tools. The Cobalt angle grinder that cuts through rebar, grinds welds, and removes rust normally costs $79. February drops it to just $49. Professional welders buy backup units at February prices. The 12-amp motor spins wheels at 11,000 RPM, fast enough for serious sparks. At $49, you're getting power that used to require shop equipment. The basin wrench hiding in plumbing deserves attention from anyone changing faucets. This specialized tool reaching impossible spaces behind sinks drops from $29 to $17 during February. Professional plumbers own multiple because $17 is cheaper than aspirin needed after tightening nuts with regular wrenches while jammed under sinks. The LED work lights in electrical complete the February value story. Rechargeable magnetic work lights that normally cost $39 drop to $24 during clearance. These aren't cheap flashlights that die after one job. We're talking 900 lumen output that turns dark crawl spaces into properly lit work areas. Professional electricians and HVAC techs who work in dark spaces buy these by the half dozen at February prices. The magnetic base sticks to ductwork, junction boxes, and any metal surface, freeing both hands for actual work instead of holding flashlights between teeth. At $24, you're getting illumination that used to require shop lights and cords. February at Lowe's isn't just about saving money on individual tools. It's about understanding the entire retail cycle and using that knowledge to outfit your workshop, garage, or job site for literally half what everyone else pays. While amateur DIYers and impatient contractors are dropping full retail in March and April because they need something right now, smart buyers stock up during February clearance and work all year with professional-grade equipment at discount prices. The difference between paying $219 for that Cobalt drill combo versus $149 isn't just $70. It's the difference between someone who understands value and someone who lets retailers control their wallet. Every tool, every battery, every accessory sitting in February clearance performs exactly the same in June as it does in February. The electrons don't care what month you bought the drill. Your projects don't know if you paid clearance or peak pricing, but your bank account definitely knows. Professional contractors and career tradespeople figured this out decades ago. They buy when prices collapse, not when demand peaks. They stock backup tools during winter clearance instead of paying panic prices when equipment fails during busy season. That's how they stay profitable, while competitors wonder why tool costs keep eating their margins. February at Lowe's is your invitation to join the Smart Buyers Club. Hit those clearance aisles before March inventory resets everything back to regular pricing. Grab the Cobalt batteries, the Craftsman combo kits, the paint, the pneumatic tools, the storage, the ladders, and everything else you'll need for the next 12 months. Your future self will thank you when you're working with quality tools that didn't require a second mortgage.